name of like the mother of the pattern one is like Barbara. Well, it actually is Barbara. Kind of like Barbara. Barbara Streisand? Is it? Streisand. Did the cannibals actually panic and then like went to attack like Sons of the Forest or like try to, I don't know, make Sons of the Forest unpopular so that people wouldn't, play the game and then like have the like Edward and Barbara and Virginia, three names like tied to the cannibal thing. No way they panic like that, right? Did they? Did they know? Did they? Oh, so that's what you mean. That is the one. Like cannibalism to like say sugar cover up like, something as stupid or like trigger as like accidental suicide via the like illegal substance use. And then there's also like, what if it's part of the stupid rat race, toxic competition nonsense thingy, and then like they kill due to like toxic industry capitalism nonsense, and then they try to cover. They try to cover up by, one side is like, cannibalism, and then the other thing is like, they spin some sort of narrative like, oh, this one like ran away from home, blah blah blah, got involved in this or that, got kidnapped, blah blah blah, disappeared for like forever, who knows, no idea, blah blah blah. Disappeared forever. Sure, it reminds me of another thing. Maybe that's why they're so, panicky or sensitive, touchy, easily triggered when like cannibalism is mentioned. Really? Cannibalism. They're actually so panicky. I guess it's because like, if there's a chance that like it would be involved. I mean, like because investigation goes backwards and then like they can eventually find out like, the death of which person and then like how and for what reasons, what are the motivations. Olive Spectre and Nervous Subject. That one. Is that part of the lost footage thingy? Oh my god, that was also something I mentioned. I forgot about it. I can't remember which one came first or after. Olive Spectre. Olive. What was the original family name of Olive Spectre? It's like Olive. I don't know, some random thing. And then like you change and you change and you change and you change and you change. Early demise and whatnot. Olive. Mm. Sense of the forest. I feel actually any of those. I am so behind. Oh my god. Ugh. Yeah, this basement has the bees. I am so lost. Not badass, but I so. looks up this way. Where is it supposed to be the outer one? Thôi, mama. Going after the wrong one though. Is it supposed to be a reference to The Last of Us? Yeah, Joel's actual doctor instead of like the other. I don't even remember the name of the girl that is like actually immune. That one. The Pinocchio mode. Nappy. Meh. See. Out bang. Bang. Out bang. We a bunch of people popped up in this part. What the hell? I did totally miss the other stuff, and then just like, this one suddenly popped up. Wow. We have haters or victims in chat, huh? Haters or victims. Sorry. Sorry. What is you use? cheating. Let's say he's a cheater. They're not gonna say that you're using shit engine? Really? Really? No longer? Accusations of cheating? No? Mm-hmm. I don't know how she engine this. Because I use it. Cheaters. Yeah, the title says one thing. How the hell did they search this up? I think we could die a lot. I didn't marry. Tony. Oh my god, having interact with each other. Right, when Hayu and Mocha had interact, why are they trying to cover this up? I don't get it. Or like suppress this or something. No? Yes, right. I mean, honestly, yes, they really mentions like, we like marriage thingy or whatever thingy, and then like what ended up being the actual legal marriage was like there's like strawberry married to strawberry, and they don't know. Oh my god. Oh. Sorry. So okay, so they are using the bot thingy, bot program is like somehow being able to automatically search via gameplay, like in real time or something, or like some other crap. I don't know if there's any like digital footprint or whatever left, or is it like they can like attach to like the exclamation point game thingy, stuff like that. Definitely not search via YouTube, as in YouTube title. And suddenly like, how many of new chapters suddenly popped up? It's like, even through the whole Crime Scene Cleaner ones, they were not chatting at all, and suddenly with that Red Room one and everyone just like, all the nonsense chat appeared, blah blah blah. There's one, it's like, I don't think it's like, the search was done via, normal ways that most people use. Normal and legal ways. It was like, what I do would be just actually search on YouTube. Just search. Actually type in the title, but it's not in the title, so live stream title that is. So, that's the one thing. That's one point. The other point is, I don't know. Yeah, so I mentioned Delgado, whatever shit. What is it with that? Are they just being stupid? Anyways, ESP has already mentioned for a while. It's like, okay, depending on the location of a marriage, is like, let's say like, there are those who are actually strawberries, and they're like, sure, they look female, blah blah blah, but then like, just like rapping and whatnot, but then like technically according to the local laws is like, oh, it is actually not legal. It is actually avoid marriage. So this one technique, so like let's say avoid marriage happen first, and then you know, like say the female or the strawberry of the avoid marriage one, and then I go rather than do the weird ass like I don't know LA marriage thingy. Thinking is like I don't know. I think maybe it was intentional or not intentional. I don't know. And then like they do that wedding thingy, and then like what if that second marriage is the one that is like actually legally holding or whatever shit. I don't know. You know. So it went from that, and then we go like that. And so technically, you know, the second marriage is the one that holds, and the first marriage is not. The first is a void marriage, and then so on and so forth. And oh my god, why did it keep getting worse? My god. Cyber gossip really never ends. Wow. It is just like never really considered it having, you know, they share like a similar, something. It's like you don't know how indirect kissing works. Like, kissing a cup and then like somebody else drink from the cup as well, indirect kissing, and then there's like, indirect, the thing. Oh my goodness, what the hell? Yeah, indirect thing. And then it's like, especially if it's like, between two people who just like, stuff like that. Or like it's a one-sided thing, just like, because both were being catfished, both males, or both strawberries were being catfished all at the same time. Maybe males back then, I don't know, and then like one side believe that the other one is female, actually female, and then totally fell in love with that one, and then like, but then they actually, and then just, the whole time is like, they really shared like this sort of like, indirect that thingy, because, they would be, the same, that person thingy, something. It is so weird. What the hell? Oh my god, I guess maybe that is the most. Maybe it might be. I don't know if they would actually think that to be like something that must be buried at all costs above everything else. Because like, no, come on. I mean, if y'all found true love, then why not? I mean, technically, maybe it's just a persona, a catfish persona, but then like, still, why not marry each other or something? Only the weird shit is that, after, in presence of the void marriage thingy, and then like, somehow the second marriage is the legally binding one, everything is so weird. It is so weird. Why is everything so weird? Dude, Tori, help me. No? What? Okay, anyways, like, how many people are high when they are chatting? Like, seriously, they're so annoying. Are they using their brains or not? Living brainless. Okay, does that mean a certain one is like a cannibal? Welcome to Redwood. Sons of the Forest. Cannibalism. You know the red fat dude in like Sons of the Forest, the red one that's also one of the cannibals. It's like the mask cannibal, and then there's the red fat dude cannibal, and then there's the freedom. Wait, does the freedom have mask? Wait, does that mean they're no wild? Are they all cannibals? Is that part of the stupid ritual thing? It's like, you know, to really be one of them, they have to go through that thing of like, you know, a shared secret evil that was committed, which is like cannibalism thingy, you know? And so like, it prevents blackmail, and it fosters a sort of like camaraderie, and as in the sense of like, you know, everyone is in on it together. Everyone did that. That is like, that would be their bond or some other crap. So like, seriously, are they all cannibals? No way, right? But is it actually true? Is it actually true? Are they all cannibals? Are there actually like evidence somewhere? You know, the people already have evidence. They're cannibals. All of them. To really be accepted as, you know, part of the whatever that is. They gotta do the cannibal thing. Is that it? Oh my god. Sounds like the forest. Barbara Puffton. What the fuck is Apple Puffton? Does it have something at work? What is it? At work color? Vampire? Are they bloodsuckers? Oh my god, bloodsuckers. Bone marrow. Really? Do they actually drink bone marrow? Because they want the immune system boost or something? They want that boost, and so they drink from the bone marrow and they drink blood. Seriously, are they actually that stupid? Oh my god, it might be. It's just like, you know, the thing about like, the blood is like beyond just like rhesus factors. The truth of like, you know, blood type matching is beyond rhesus factor and beyond the ABO thingy. There's like so much more factors to it, and I don't know how well the stomach digestive system is, but then like, let's say they actually drink blood, and like, well, it's just like this dilution of the gastric acid, and so like, you know, this or that factor does not get, whatever call it does not get digested completely, and then like, the whole thing of the blood, was like, you know, there's like so many antigens, surface antigens on the blood, and it's like, there's like a lot of like matching to do. I did it once, and it's like, holy shit, like, the panel went like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Maybe there was like 20 things to be tested on. So, like, yeah, the thing is like, if they eat something, it's like, let's say they consume somebody's blood, like, actually consume them, and then like, it gets into the bloodstream, and then onwards, maybe it's not about drinking, more of like, they actually do like full complete transfusion in hopes of getting rid of the blood. But like, the more you do, especially if it's with like incomplete match, meaning like the blood that was taken in has like this or that surface antigen, and then you take it in, and then your body actually produces antibodies to, you know, the more so-called minor ones, but they actually do produces antibodies to the other antigens, and then like, over time, especially the more blood transfusion they do, the more they do it, the more the antibodies build up against the various ones, until eventually one day it's like, you cannot really do any more blood transfusion because you have antibodies to so many different things, and you know, with that many antibodies against that many antigens on a red blood cell from someone else, it's bound to form a sort of immune complex, and you get coagulation in your bloodstream, your blood vessels, and chances are you get stroke and you die. You can die, you know. And that's why they say it's like blood transfusion is so much better to just like keep it to a minimum. Yeah, it's so much better to just like not be involved in like any accident or whatever incident that would require one to get blood transfusion, especially from like a non-self person. So it's beyond. It really is beyond the research, positive or negative, and beyond the ABO thing. There's like a whole range of it. Doing the time matching is like insane. There's like so many things to do. I get exhausted just trying to do one panel. Oh my god. You know the ELISA plates. We're gonna add or something. We're gonna test for antibodies, I think, or like test for, I don't know, whatever, just test for things, you know. We're gonna take blood serum from this person, the recipient, right? And then blood serum from the donor. Wait, is it serum or just like actually like blood samples, you know, with red stuff in it? And then we're gonna test it and see if there's like any coagulation, anything stuck around, and then, you know, yeah, it comes tagged with like, it has come tagged with, no, and then we add in anti-human IgG antibody that is labeled with like, I don't know, some sort of enzyme, I think. I can't remember for sure how it meant, but for sure, that's just beyond ABO and the positive negative thing. That's just beyond, okay? And they did say for sure that the more transfusions you do in a lifetime, the worse it gets. It's like the less your body can accept. Yeah, the amount of possible blood your body can accept, it just keeps getting lower and lower and lower. And eventually it's like, you know, one day you cannot. And therefore it's like they say that it's so much better if you just like avoid doing blood transfusion if possible. Just say before like a life-threatening scenario, because people don't get unlimited amount of chances when it comes to blood transfusion. That is the truth. It's not really popularly propagated, I think mostly because like most people simply don't really actually experience that much life events that requires so much blood transfusion. Most people don't, like, so far I've never gotten into an accident that requires like a lot of blood transfusion. It's like, I actually don't know what will require that. Like, I don't know, a gunshot wound maybe? Like, you gotta lose a lot of blood, or like maybe surgery, maybe. I've never been to surgery. Like, as in like, you know, to remove this or that, or like to I don't know, bypass or whatever shit. I don't know, don't care. But like, yeah, so far none. My family, my parents none. So far it's like, that's how little people do get blood transfusion. So it doesn't really matter much. I guess it's just like, how much blood transfusion did who do? How much did they do? Like, did they exhaust their chances to get more blood transfusion? Is that it? Did that happen already? Are they screwed? Here's the thing is like, if it's the B cell thing, right? And then like, they already have the very B cell before the HIV numbers climbing enough to prevent the B cells from like, you know, making antibodies and like, you know, making memory B cells that is like around in the blood, the body. I don't know. What if they already have don't know, die, get recycled away. I don't know if that even happens. Where is like memory B cell stored? Like, I don't know, maybe even in bone marrow. So it's like, how the hell are you supposed to remove your bone marrow? Oh my god. So how much blood transfusion did they do? Wasn't like they remove their own blood and they take in, you know, other people's blood. Get ready for stroke. Don't force it. You know, if you force it, just be prepared for stroke or death. You know, coagulation, internal coagulation. Yes, there will be like organ death, this or that, etc., etc. Because that's the Edward Afton thing. Very much like Edward Cullen, how this the main vampire. Maybe that's what the whole thing is supposed to be, to be with, like, I mean, reference or like trying to, like, you know, prompt people to think about. But I guess it's a rather niche knowledge. I don't know who else actually studied that. Like, I studied that only in my bachelor's, not even in my A levels. Suddenly not O levels. Yeah, blood sciences. They exhaust their chances. Yeah, they're practically screwed for sure. They're practically screwed. You're doing like, actually the results can be obtained rather quickly. You know, as in, assuming everything is like already prepared. I cannot remember, but then like trying to get the serum only from like blood plasma, kind of difficult. And also like, you know, memory B something. And one more thing, that's why like, I think hospitals, they do keep track of like, you know, previous blood transfusion received. Is like, it's so that one can track like which antigen or whatever was already used, and like, and so like which one do not recommend, which blood do not use for this or that patient. Is to keep track of like all the other antigens. There is a lot. A lot is not just positive, negative, or ABO thingy. No, it's not the two things. It's like those are things, and then like so many categories. A lot of categories. It's screwed. Yeah, like in my mind already is like, it really is sad, right? Yeah, well, in fact, I was thinking about that, but I was saying the other thing is like, I just didn't really consider that there will be those who are like so, you know, so worried about it all that they will start blood transfusion early, the blood cleansing thingy early, before the HIV numbers even climb up enough. If they started early, it's like, oh, they're screwed, man. I tell you, they are so screwed. Seriously, I don't know what to say. Like when their immune cells level are still high, and then already they start to do the, you know, I don't know, blood exchange thing, blood refresh thing. They're doomed. Stroke. Stroke, 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 stroke. Internal organ damage. Organ damage, organ damage, organ damage, organ damage. It's coagulation. I don't know. Aneurysm, not really. It's not aneurysm. It's whatever, like, you know, if a blood vessel breaks, whatever that's called, I can't remember. It's not aneurysm. Aneurysm is something else, you know. Involves, it specifically involves the wall of a blood vessel, you know, going like something, you know, bulging out, you know, something like that, I think. He weaken over time and then that kind of bursting, rather than like coagulation cause bursting. Assuming it causes bursting, does it, or is it just ischemia? Or is it both? It's like, you know, when it goes down the artery side and then like going to, from high pressure to low pressure, and then going into from a bigger diameter blood vessel into a smaller diameter blood vessel, and then the pressure. I think it's really that, I can't remember. Or if it simply gets stuck and it's like, what is it, thrombosis? I don't know. No, is it thrombosis? Nah. Is it? I cannot remember the name. I cannot remember the words. There's so many. Thrombotic. What is thrombosis? Maybe it is thrombosis. Thrombosis? Thrombotic emboli? Wait, what? Is that what it is? I don't know. But anyway, blood clot going in there is like get stuck. You will experience pain. Minimum. A minimum pain. Minimum. If you do, if it's severe enough, it's just like, yeah, like, I mean, come on, like, if the best option of blood already causes such damage, then like, how is anyone supposed to help you? Like, because like, it's already causing that much damage, and the problem lies with the blood. And, you know, removing too much of the blood, and you die from other things. You cannot remove blood, and you cannot put in blood because, you know, the blood is the problem by itself. And so like, So yeah, those who are like in that situation, you're probably screwed, I guess. I'm like, should I be sugarcoat it? Probably not. Probably yes, probably not. But like, probably not. It's just like, this is something which I expect that doctors would advise all their patients with. Like, every doctor who wants to do blood transfusion or whatever, it's like, they would have advised their patients, right? And then like, if the patients are stubborn, so fucking stubborn, and they actually assume that they know better than the doctors, than medical professionals, then, you know, whatever, why bother sugarcoating? It's like, you know, they've probably already been told how many fucking times, and they didn't believe it. And then like me now saying it one more time, it's like, that's no matter. It's like, you know, serious or not serious, like, what difference does it make? It doesn't make a difference. So why bother? Why bother? Why are they like that? Wow. They actually make decisions that screw themselves, huh? Wow. It makes all their chances, huh? Seriously, blood has beyond positive, negative, and ideal. Like, maybe 50 years ago, the belief is that there's only those two things to look at, but I don't know how often blood transfusion was done, like, in the years leading up to, like, 50 years ago, so maybe there's not much data, but then, like, ever since, like, 50 years ago and now, it's like in between, like how much blood transfusion had been done, and how much new info do people like get about blood transfusion. And then turns out there's just like that much more antigen thing because no, seriously, it's like in normal circumstances, people simply don't really go through, have life events that just like involves blood transfusion. So, the availability of, blood transfusion service is also like low, like since when, and like that's a rather new thing, and that's why it's only like really known for like just the past, I don't know how many years, but not that long ago. So yeah, there are more. I guess it hasn't made it into the textbooks for like O levels yet. But yeah, there's a lot more. It's like at this point, it's like, maybe those people can only be convinced only by an increasing number of deaths due to, the previously not really popularly known antigens. Yeah, we would actually told the no, it's not just the rhesus and the ABO thing. It's not just those two. Not just those two. There is a lot more. A lot more. It's just, it was never really much of a problem because, most people don't really, need blood transfusion that much or that many times in their lives. Like maybe like once we're like 80 years old and like things start to kaput and then like, oh, we're gonna need surgery and then maybe we need blood transfusion. Or just like really just very unluckily experience very unluckily experience an accident that is bad enough that like, a lot of blood loss and somehow one gets in time and then like the subsequent procedures requires blood transfusion. Stuff like that. So yeah. Maybe they actually think that they were being smart. How many of them are regretting it now? Or still doubling down? Still believing that they are smarter than doctors? Doctors were trying to use the example of like how a rhesus negative mother and having a rhesus positive baby is dangerous, especially with the second pregnancy with a rhesus positive baby, because the mother generated antibodies to the rhesus factor during the first pregnancy, and so the second pregnancy is very dangerous. The antibody versus the rhesus factor is dangerous for the baby. I don't know about like for the mother, but blood coagulation might happen, but maybe not that much because like babies, when do they start producing their own blood? And like the amount that gets into the mother's body, I don't know about that, but then like the mother's antibody that passes through the placenta into the baby. So anti-rhesus factor antibodies going through the placenta, getting into the fetus's bloodstream, and there's a problem. There's always a problem. So like let's say there's like the K or O antigen, I think, and then like if what one has is like K antigen and then one wants to receive blood transfusion from like a donor that has like the O antigen in place of the K antigen, like K version and then O version. I think K O was it one of them? I don't know. But yeah, and then like you produce antibodies to the O antigen. So the first round is always okay. But the second round, if you receive yet again another O1, then you get, not the ABO one, but like, for the category of KOO. And then second round, you receive it again, your memory B cells probably will kick into place, and then antibodies produce. And then we're looking at like major immune complexes. Especially if like the blood transfusion is done in large amounts. So I think the larger the amount, the worse it gets, I think. I'm not sure. So yeah, it's actually very tricky business. Not say tricky as in like, trick question. More like it's very difficult to like gauge exactly how much is safe. Like we're not even taught that because like I don't think anybody knows that. No, I don't think anybody knows the formula to it. It's like this is one of those things where like to really know the answer to it is you gotta have information first. You have to have information, and where does the information come from? If not like from previous victims. Obviously we cannot purposely induce it. We cannot purposely do it in a human body. Like how much memory B cells does any one human have, Where are they kept? Like what are we supposed to do? Like harvest it, and then how are we supposed to like simulate an actual like proper same amount of pressure, same amount of like like the timing of the release of the or triggering of like the memory B cells or whatever, like a complete mimicry in vitro or like mechanical form is like, how does one do that? Like how is one supposed to do a completely exactly similar and comparable simulation, like non in vivo simulation? It's not possible, so like, nobody knows. Because, we don't do that research because, the research would require what? A proper simulation of the human circulatory system along with the immune components is like, what the hell? How does one do that? There's just no way. Obviously, we won't test in IRL humans, so the only way to really know is, if there are, like, prior victims, and the entire medical history needs to be accurate. Any inaccuracy and then, like, okay, there goes the formula, corrupted by, like, bad information, wrong information. So, I don't know, those people, if they're all Canadians and they're the ones doing that, they're probably so full of secrecy, and just like, whatever information can be gotten from them, there's probably a bunch of lies over there, so that's the point, right? But yeah, there's a lot of category beyond the research and the ABO thing. Is this serum extraction? But overall, if like people actually like focus on it, I think maybe hours, it can be done in hours. The answer can be gotten in hours. Like less than 2 days, I think, less than 48 hours, I think. I'm not sure about the serum extraction part. But then, like, let's say that ELISA plates and whatever are already, the materials are all around, the tools are all around. It's just like, serum extraction part. That one. That one might take a while. And then like, and afterwards it's just the lab thingy, the lab technician thingy. So yeah, it's really like say, it's more or less like the ABO thing, just an extension. It's like, it's just, it's not just positive, negative, or ABO. It's like, so many categories to be tested. But yeah, Edward Tufton. And then there's Barbara Tufton. I guess first on effect. And then I don't know about Virginia Tufton. What happened to that one? Why 3 legs? I don't get it. No. You know, meh. Ain't my problem? Or should it be my problem? Or should it not be my problem? But somehow, I am talking about it. Why? Why is it everything so weird? But anyways, I don't know who asked who. Is it all of them? In which case, should have listened to the doctors. Or like the actual experts. Sweetie, what are you doing? Are you relaxing or something? Right. Why so many buttons? Wait, what are you doing? It is alive for sure, but I don't think I've ever seen this angle. That is so weird. I wanna go pee. Oh my god, I've been wanting to pee for a while. Just have to like, spit that thing out. Regurgitate that one. That one, why? It was that one practical class where I was like, actually like, rather late too. And I'm just like, I'm driving there just like completely lost and everything. Holy shit. Very lost and then like, and then, but eventually, yeah, slowly catching up, slowly catch up with it. But then, yeah, lesson learned. Do not what? Do not do it. You know, try to avoid. Try to keep it to a minimum. Unless, you know, very dire situation. AFK. Please mute, please. salt wouldn't help me at all. They actually, who actually thought like they created a cure to Ebola simply because they were mixing Ebola, with the Ebola code with some other like anti-vector or whatever, and then they just mix it together until eventually they do a testing just like to test for the presence of Ebola via just looking at whether the Ebola surface antigen or whatever shit is present in like whatever culture they have. And when it is absent, they consider it a win. Like, that is so wrong, especially if like they tested it against what? They tested it against what virus? Is the virus a bigger size one? Like, is the virus a bigger size one, or like is it phospholipid coated ones? And then like I can't. You know what? I have to check. Does Ebola have envelope? Oh my god. It is a lipid envelope virus. Okay. Envelope X envelope. Phospholipid X phospholipid. They tested it. Oh my god, it does not mean that, the Ebola virus is killed off. It could just mean that, the Ebola virus is happening inside the bigger thing. Who knows, right? Or like, who knows, maybe, it's just like DNA consumed, is it DNA or RNA? I don't know. It causing people who are like infected with HIV or whatever shit, and then like, what if they weren't careful when handling it and they were breathing HIV inside? Oh my god. The problem of like those people who are like, they're not actually smart people, but they somehow assume that they are smart. It's sort of like this a worse parallel of like, the blood one. The blood thing, seriously. Why would how many actually think that they're smarter when they believe that it's only ABO and the positive negative thing that matters, and that everything else does not matter. It's like, it's like those kind of people who just somehow think that they magically or like by destiny or something somehow knows much better than medical professionals and whatnot, and then they try their hand at medical staff, and it just ends up being such a horrible mess. They go way off the Berlin to stand trial instead because they created a monster instead of a cure. It's like you add it, let's say Ebola is a trash bag, and then like they brought something that is like big enough where Ebola can fit inside, and there's like another trash bag, and then like it's like trash bag, and then it becomes a bigger trash bag, It's like there's just more stuff in it, in the ultimate thing. And then what if they brought in a bigger one, and then like that one that already has Ebola in it, and then plus the whatever this one has, and then just like boom, and and then it's like one within another, okay. And then like they test, and then they think that the way to test for like when the Ebola is still present is simply just by testing for the presence of the envelope protein. That is just like there is the taking things way out of contexting, or like they're looking only at specific contexting and they're not looking at the full picture. So what happens is that they created something incredibly dangerous. The thing is that humans have phospholipid bilayer. Phospholipid bilayer can fuse with phospholipid bilayer. They wanna say that maybe, the endogenous process, the process of taking in something wrapping a phospholipid bilayer into a cell, into a human cell, will require some sort of like surface antigen or whatnot. But like, really, does it really? Because, we all know how soap works, or more of like, how oil works. Oil and water. It's technically something like soap, but then I think the better visualization would be like, imagine adding oil to oil. That's it. Oil to oil. The contents will be released into the human cell. And then later afterwards only like, because the human cells have like, the machinery to create proteins from, DNA to mRNA, then to proteins. Viruses themselves don't really have it, and that's why usually it's like wrapping. And then like no extra, things will go floating around because they don't produce it. They don't have the enzymes to produce, not just enzymes, amino acids, whatever. Or maybe the culture has amino acids, but if they themselves don't have the enzymes necessary for either translation only or transcription and translation. So is it what after it gets into a human cell and suddenly Ebola proteins are being formed, and then they're gonna say that no, there's nothing wrong with the vaccine they created, and it's the humans that somehow has the problem. No, that is not it. The phospholipid envelope fusing with phospholipid bilayer to release things in. Okay, one way in, and then like maybe they go out again, and then they go back in again. How? It's like, oh my god. Do you have something like phospholipid bilayer enclosed virus within like phospholipid bilayer, and then another layer, and then it's just like the first RNA or DNA content gets released into the world, or like capsid also. I don't know. Or is it just like pure, just envelope only one, and then I don't know, another round, another one, and another one. The DNA, RNA goes in, and then it starts getting transcribed and or translated. And then the proteins start forming, and then the viruses start forming. Like, seriously, they're not creating vaccines, they're just creating viruses that have like extra envelope, extra protection against desiccation, against dehydration in the environment. I don't know. Stuff like that, I'm actually not sure what the envelope is for, but whatever. Maybe. It's like, it could be for desiccation and maybe detergent, some other crap. It's like one layer of envelope around a capsid is already, that's like the extra protection over there, and then like they're actually like making it with like 2 layers, 3 layers, 4 layers. How many layers are they making? How many layers are they wrapping the Ebola in? How many layers? And then just because somehow they test for the surface antigen and it does not exist, and they just assume that they succeeded in making a vaccine and they deserve glory and a ticket into heaven. Bad signs of blood. Ugh, I hate it. I hate it. This is the world we live in, huh? Jesus. And then what? Do they try to like scapegoat other countries instead? Berlin. Hmm. Mm-mm. They did not think things through. They did not have an electron microscope. They created a giant bug, a giant virus. Really, how the Berlin came out was like, I sort of like, you know, when I was like doing the random research online, just like came across that stupid Ebola vaccine thingy, but is it really? Really? Because seriously, I'm sure if it actually is indeed an Ebola vaccine, there would be bigger news. Guess not. Also, were they testing it in like a BSL format or like for American standards? I think it should be BSL 5 instead of 4. Wait, no, BSL is not the right word to use, not the right terminology to use. I don't know, whatever acronym they use is like, their highest one is 5, equivalent to BSL 4, is that it? Or did they actually ignore all that crap and they were doing it in what? Hospital setting? No? Less than? More than? Less than? Just like, were they actually being aseptic even? Were they not being aseptic? Did they use the proper methods? The proper tools? You know, when to discard and then discard into what thing and then like what's the sterilization process or discarding process, etc., etc. You know, all those things need licensing and etc., like certification, right? Like, because they're no joke. They're biohazards, infectious, pandemic, epidemic, pandemic, global extinction level events. Weapons of mass destruction. Maybe. What kind of world are we living in? Or era, or whatever? Someone's just not a real Mary or something. Hmm. What were they trying to do? Trying to rig the timeline or some shit like that. Or like panicking. Some people actually are the panicky type when they're like about to go away. They're like, they just panic and just like spam whatever nonsense. Kind of like that one was like, wait, what was it about again? Oh, the gender fluid nonsense. Oh my god, that one. It's like, somehow viewing gender fluid and like, those gender crossing catfish as the same thing, like as if I'm referring to the same thing. And then like the police are new, and then it's like the whole time they've been panicking and just like spamming nonsense. I'm not sure what's the logic behind that. Like, how is that helping your case at all? Does it help your case at all? What are they doing? What are they thinking? Evolutionaries work. The stupid ones will die. Ugh, unbelievable. This is how intelligence has been selected for, somehow. From the blood thing. I guess a blood thing might actually like, that as in like, a lot of the dumb ones or like self-assumed to be smart ones will die to the blood thing. Etc, 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 etc. One thing to another thing. Huh. Yeah, biologics. I don't think that will ever. Huh. Ironic, isn't it? What did they do? Like, what's that chemotherapy that kills off like memory B cells? If they want to continue doing the blood transfusion thing. But then the thing is like, how much already like existing antibodies are like circulating in their body? Like antibodies against like this blood antigens. Like, how much? So like killing off the B cell, but then antibodies are still circulating. What is the point, right? Unless they're low enough. I don't know. Killing off the T cells are like tricky business. You might release the, HIV out. Even immature ones like, releasing the RNA out. Who knows what catastrophe might happen. Simi is like actually like, the mechanism of the killing of the cells, human cells is like slices. Things get released. It's not complete. It's not digested in the cell of a macrophage or something. Actually, not that I think about it. I don't think is there any chemotherapy that actually induces the eating? Or is it just like, is it just stopping the mitosis and then what happens afterwards? Apoptosis in what way? Does everything get killed? No, then maybe not. That's one thing to do. If there's reason to be. No, that's how little we know. We might just like, we cannot say for sure that it's like this or like that. We don't know for sure. Maybe some people who can visualize it. I wouldn't know how to tell you what are you doing. Just resting. So what is wrong with those people? They just wanna attack and attack and attack. Do they still think that they're actually the ones in the right? That their science is actually correct? And they somehow think that there's just a conspiracy by the entire freaking world against them. Like if you ask them to take their own creation, they will refuse to do so. I don't understand. Why would there be those who just die and insist that they are the ones who are correct? Diagnosis and what's that called? I don't know. Medicine creation, pharmaceutical or something? Those two kinds of testings are very different. You know what? Rule of thumb, PCR. PCR or what's that called? What is it called? Wait, what's the DNA one again? Oh no, I forgot. What's the word? Something like that. If they're just gonna test for the surface antigen, then they're screwed. They're just like, they don't know enough science. They don't know enough biomedical science. Why do they think that they're somehow correct? Why are they like that? Well, yeah, those who blood transfusion ones, especially the many time ones. Many time blood transfusion ones. How many died or got a stroke? Internal coagulation. And then still refuse to believe that that's the cause. That that's the reason why. My goodness. They still think that they are correct. Is that the TNT? I don't believe that is. The TNT is something else entirely for sure, I think. Yeah, ESP is going like, that is like the organism that produces certain type of steroid things, substances, compounds. Life finds a way. They did not watch Jurassic Park. Seriously. Life has a way. Life is very sophisticated. There's a reason why whatever organisms that are still existing these days still exist. They simply can't survive. So why are humans immortal? There's no point to like agelessness when like humans can die from so many different things, from like falling from great heights or like tsunami or earthquakes or this or that or simply like there's so many things a human can die from, including bacterial infection. We could like even these days we could max out our comfort. We could create homes, shelters and whatnot, but like we're still on the path of destruction of the earth crust. Come the time of apocalypse and then we'll see like exactly why humans like have not evolved agelessness, because we can die from like overexposure to heat, overexposure to cold, overexposure to this bacteria or overexposure to that bacteria. We could drown. There's like so many ways a human can die. Getting stung by bees, allergies and whatnot. Why would we have immortality when we're gonna die young to other things? Like we don't even reach. It's just like that saying where like, a human can live to 80 years old is already a blessing. And that is true for like up to, when was antibiotic created? Like during the era of like World War One, World War Two, what was the life expectancy? Or like let's say pre-World War One. Heck, human kill human. We're dying early. Agelessness. There's no time for agelessness to kick in. We're gonna die from other things. I think the first thing we need to evolve. You know what? Actually, now that I think about it, since global warming is a new thing, right? Maybe now we need to evolve, and those who can survive that, the new heat. But then also, like, maybe we need to evolve intelligence. People who are smart enough. People who are smart enough to not repeat the same mistakes of like global warming and war and etc. Like creating, new bacteria or like propagating bacteria that would kill people off before agelessness should kick in. It's like, what's the point of it? Like, okay, give the kun-kuns and the pan-pans agelessness. They're gonna die from HIV, right? Give them agelessness and they're gonna die from doing some sort of weird ass stuff. They're gonna catch on fire or whatever shit. They're gonna try something stupid and then they'll die. Like they'll try to prove that like, oh, they're that awesome or mighty, and then they're gonna die trying to prove that. Or warmongers. agelessness. Most people don't even need that. How many people can actually live to 100 years old? Where will we want agelessness to kick in? What's the point? They're gonna die from like STIs anyways. Diseases after diseases after diseases, plague after plague after plague. And not just Yersinia pestis plague, but like plague in general. What's the point? Give them agelessness and you'll be useless. What kind of waste, you know? Let's not evolve that. Let's just like, try to evolve, like, I don't know, thicker skin that can like save us from a gunshot wound or like save us from, a long way fall down to the ground. Or like maybe we should also evolve like gills so that we can never drown. Or just skin thing. Or not just skin, just like the ability to handle various temperatures. Agelessness, we're gonna die all like that. Our immune system, too strong an immune system, and why might actually still die from the immune system? Because the immune system attacking the cell. There's so many potential causes of death beyond age. How many people actually die due to age? Due to aging only. Aging itself only. Like, and then like nothing else, it's like not about pathogens, a lot of the shit. Leading cause of death in the world, what is it? Is it accidents? Is it war? Some other crap? What's the point? Unbelievable. Oh, they want this, they want that. It's like, oh my god, if evolution exists, then why don't humans evolve immortality? When immortality is so good for survival, but then like no, given human nature and how there's just so many with the tendency to be violent and stupid. And also we're so weak against various pathogens. What's the point of having agelessness? In fact, agelessness is just like counterproductive, right? It's like, wow, the human population increasing. Oh my god, there's a little job to go around. And then what? They want to start thinning out the population, start thinning out the competition, so that there will be more to go around for people. More so-called resources. Oh, whatever shit. Come on. Humans kill humans. We're dying before we're old. It's like, wow. I don't think Hitler is done with because if Hitler actually believed that war can get them to being immortal, then oh my god, you're so stupid. You're literally killing humans. It's just creating a selection for people who won't die to bullet wounds instead of agelessness. Ugh. maybe with some amount of intelligence and instincts and just like, we can live long enough and then finally you'll be selecting for agelessness. So the dumb ones will go first. No more stupid people who think that war is good. Meh. What are you doing? Looking both ways. Edward Puffton, Barbara Puffton, Virginia Puffton. Is Virginia supposed to mean anything? I don't know. Who cares? But yeah, those who self-presume to be correct. I wonder how many evidences to the contrary does it take for them to finally believe that they are in the wrong. Information, piles and piles and piles of information. They wanted me to like all those and then just concoct something random and just somehow believe it's correct. Because they believe that they are simply that person. So who is patient zero? I feel like, the ones who participated in my creating that, bigger and bigger, like layers and layers of unlivable virus, will they be infected? Meh. Signs of zombies? Okay. It is sure still tiny, but also kinda huge comparatively. Oh yeah. They might actually die while still in denial. Hmm. That's fine. They can fake it to the end. Not fake denial, you know. Fake, finally accepting truth or something like that. If time travel exists, these are things that should be avoided, but seriously, did they miss the corner? Huh? They missed the exit, they forgot to press the handbrake. When it's like, this is the original thing, and then like, this is the path of this, with all the catastrophe, and then like, they want this one where like, they manage to stop before they do the shit, but then they totally miss the corner, and then they just like full speed ahead ram into something, and then it's like, derail or something. It's like, in the end, it's just like, it's still catastrophic. Because they forgot to slow down at the moment and then choose to not go down the path that will lead to the catastrophe that they want to erase in the first place. They forgot to slow down. Is that it? They forgot to stop. They forgot to turn. They forgot to choose the path. And I can do. Oh my god. So it was an old person. And it reborn into this one. My goodness. And then still same mistakes. Same mistake repeated. Same mistake made. They want to change time and whatnot. But then like, not even they can help themselves. Like, not even they can convince themselves to do otherwise. To make the other choice, right? Like in the first place, they really made the original choice that led to the catastrophe. Are you removing? Or wait, picking up or something? No? Oh my god, I'm so sleepy. I guess I should ignore them all and go sleep. I mean, like, technically I do have to take care of myself, of my health. Not that there's anything I can do to help them anyway, so. Seriously. These people, oh my god. They wanna hit the reset button, change timeline or whatever shit, but then like, their tendency simply is to do that mistake, to do this or that mistake. It's like, that's what like, they did, like, everybody settled down to this road, this or that road. because the tendency simply fits this or that role perfectly. Yeah, they can hear the result, but the other one is like still same shit. Totally. Angle really. Turn off the lights. Turn off the current light. Off light. Off. Off. On. Leave it on. Turn it off. Leave it on. Turn off. Leave on. Good. No response. Check. I don't know what to do. Should I leave it on or should I turn it off? What if I should turn it off? What if that help with the clearing of the photos or something? Yes? No? Yes or no? Blink yes or yes or no. I don't know. I could try one more night. Turn it off. And then we'll see what happens the next day. Or more like several hours later. Okay, well, I wanna sleep now. Good night and goodbye. It is really just wild. What chaos? A catastrophe? Did it actually try to scapegoat me for that? Frame me for that? And etc. people. It's like when like they initially say like, oh, it's this one would be that blah blah blah, and then they suddenly backtrack and then they say, oh wait, no, actually it's always been this one, blah blah blah, and doing this or that. No? I'm like, seriously, backtrack. How does one even make such a mistake, mistaking something an identity or something? Ugh. Everything weird. Oops. Oh. Oh wait, maybe this is a large one or something. This kind of thing. It's like twist, and I really like twist. I don't know. Maybe not really. It's so hard to find. Like on the surface, it seems like maybe it's been uncovered, but so easy to trace it back to the original thing or something. No. Oh, Slinky. Hey. Who mentioned by say actually very accurate sages or whatever shit, tiny people to be like slinky type of people, just like, they go, but in the end they just ended up, boop, like that. And they eventually the slinky breaks, but still, it still looks like a slinky, it's just, it can't go anymore. Slinky, spring, always just like, boom, they go back to their original ways. Like after a while, they just like, they return to their original ways, because that's how they are, that's who they are. Slinky, or Spring, or a rubber band, anything that is like, well, maybe not as elastic. Slinky technically is not elastic, like each round itself is like so, solid. And if you bend it, you can actually bend. So you might be able to like doing, but then like in the end, a slinky is still a slinky. That's all. And like eventually my cat deform will be, but it's still a slinky. Oh, I guess I say that we found a slinky type person, a slinky type of soul. Or is everyone actually very slinky? No, they are very slinky. It's like, you can try and say this and like that, but eventually they're like, oh, they're truly very difficult one, all of them, like, chance at glory. Always the tendency to believe the narrative, choosing to believe the one that just like fits the sound most, instead of, the truth. The choose to believe the fantasy over the truth. When the fantasy is just very, a narrative that they really, 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 really want to be true. A special life, special destiny. There's something special about them, that they're not like the chosen one. My goodness. It's like if they're going to scapegoat people, then they already know that like there's something wrong with it. There's something wrong with what they did, and that's why they want to scapegoat. And yeah, they still cannot let go of the fantasy that they perhaps did indeed create a vaccine planet, that they somehow are smarter than all the people who studied medical science or medicine, virology. They somehow think that they are smarter than everyone else who have been around for longer. Holy shit. I guess that's very fun, that kind of narrative of their life. Should have put out with a parking light, dudes. They should have put out with a parking light. I just slinkies be slinkies. Cartoon. If they think something is successful, why would they want to scapegoat? Seriously, they would scapegoat people for it. Still, inability to let go of the fantasy. The fantasy, they can't let it go. That I still want to, latch on to it. Well, I guess it's not living in denial. It's just like they still want to ride that high. Right? They want to ride the high that like they're chosen ones, all of people. They just want to latch onto that fantasy. It's not about denial. Denial of the truth is about wanting to latch onto the fantasy, despite being aware of the facts, but still they want to latch onto the fantasy. Is that how they act? That's how we manifest. Like, looking for a scapegoat, and yet also still like, still believing that it's all correct, it's all true, and that they participated in that glorious achievement, glorious purpose. Oh, kind the imposter, they're all very kind, right? Kind mentality. he's the one sitting at the show for so freaking long. Loki is there, trying to like make things correct, and then he's like, he got entangled with Kang's mindset. Loki got entangled with Kang's mindset for a bit. And Kang might actually be messing with Loki's mind. Glorious purpose. Kang the imposter. Always like so. Cocoon. Yep. I'm gonna stop here. They might actually believe in the concept of like the citadel at the end of time. Somehow believe that whatever Kang have been saying is like all true, the concepts and whatnot. I'm sure it's just imposter. Peace. Robber. Ho ho.